Hey artists, it's been a while. So you guys wanted to know how I did my anatomy. So I decided I'm going to show you how I did my anatomy. So basically, for all my characters, both male and female, bodies, I always do about 7 heads tall. So basically, as you can see here, both the male and female are almost about 7 heads, which would be these circles on the sides right here. They're about 7 of those tall. Sometimes they're a little shorter or a little taller, depending on how tall I want them, but they're always about 7 heads tall. As you can see here, what I usually do is I draw out the shape of the head that I want, and then I'll always attach the neck to that and kind of start shaping out the body from there. Every body that I do is made out of pretty basic shapes. I have a square rectangle for the torso, or not the torso, the chest. Same for the male, as you can see here. I do a sort of triangle for the torso area. I do a circle for the head, obviously. That's kind of what I normally do. And then sometimes I'll even add a triangle to the bottom of the head to kind of just get that shape where the jaw bones are if I'm doing more anatomy in the head. I will usually add ovals for the upper thighs and upper arms, usually circles for the shoulders and knees. And then what I normally do, and then sometimes I don't do this, it really depends, is I'll mark where the hands would be. Hands usually go about to your middle thigh, so if you stand up straight, you can tell that your hands obviously go to about your mid-thigh. So I put the hands, I kind of sketch out a square at the mid-thigh, and then what I do, it really depends. Usually I'll put a dot right where the joint would be, like the elbow joint, and then I would add that curved sort of straight line for that lower arm. As you can see here, how there's this curved line right here. I'll add that after adding the dot, and the dot kind of just shows me that joint right there, that elbow. The feet, however, the feet are kind of I kind of just do a circle-ish triangle, as you can see here, just rounded triangle. And then what I will do is I will do the lower thighs, or not thighs, the lower legs, so the calves, and I will make those go down, and then I will add a few extra lines to kind of define the actual feet. Feet is definitely something I need to work on, so do not reference me on feet. So basically I now have all these shapes, and what I do is I attach them and kind of make the body. For the female, I'll add these for the breasts. I'll usually go from her collarbone, and then I will do a kind of rounded line. It's a straight line, and then it kind of rounds at the end, and that just tells me where they're supposed to be. Then I will obviously start shaping out the character, and then that is how I do the bodies. Right here is one of my older drawings, which is actually quite good when it comes to anatomy, especially for being an older drawing. As you can see here, we got our circle for the head. You can't really tell it as well in this drawing because it's kind of not just standing perfectly straight. It has a pose to it, and because I kind of did a rougher sketch, and this is the more refined sketch, but we're gonna go through this anyways. Right here we got the circle for the head, the square for the chest, and the little triangle. I always put a little triangle right here for the collarbone, and then sometimes I'll even go far enough to add the rest of the collarbone. Usually I won't do that, but the collarbone just tells me where the shoulders are supposed to be. Then I'll add a little circle right here for both the shoulders, just to tell me where the arms are going to be at. The little diamond triangle kind of thing for the waist down here. Then I will add my ovals for the upper thighs, my kind of, not triangles, my squares for the hands, and these hands I did not put by her side, so if I don't put a hand by the side, I will put the square wherever I want her hand to be. The ovals for the upper arm, and do my little dot for the elbow area where the joint bends. And that's something I always see as important, to know where the joint bends and how it bends, because if you don't know how it bends, then you're kind of gonna have some very interestingly bendy people. What I would do is I would do this upper arm, which I kind of just go at it, and then usually I'll refine it later when I end up finishing my sketch and do my line art. And then same with the calves, I kind of just I don't really sketch it out. I kind of just do it, go at it, and then I will either add the feet before or after I do the calves. Right here we have a really bad drawing of a face, but I would like to go over like the anatomy of a face just right now, just for a quick second. So basically the nose is not in the exact center of the head. It's kind of in, so if the exact center was right here, it's just a little bit underneath it. And then the eyes, the beginning of the eyes, so these parts right here, like where I think it's your tear duct, I'm not really sure. So those would be right where the sides of the nose are. So basically those are the sides of the nose, and these are the beginning of the eye. They should be perfectly in line. This sketch they are not, but that's how they are on your face if you kind of measure them out with your fingers. So basically the same with your mouth. Not exactly the same, but the edges of your mouth should line up with about the center of your eyes. Depending on the expression, it won't be the exact center, but the center is kind of where they should be. And your ears are kind of the easiest ones to do. They go from the eyebrows all the way down to the bottom of your nose. So that's how I always measure out my ears. And if you do it yourself, the top of your ears should be in line with your eyebrows on your face, and the bottom of your ears should be in line with your nose. Of course, if it's not, that's just how it usually is. They aren't always exact, but that's about where it should be. As you can see in this drawing I did of one of my OCs, his ears go from where his eyebrows would be. You can't really see his eyebrow, but it's about right there. So his ear goes from there to the bottom of his nose, which is about here. And this right here I usually have as a shadow in my sketches. So as you can see, the ear goes to the bottom of his nose. So as you can tell, his mouth, the edges of his mouth line up with the center of his eyes, or about the center where his pupil is. Obviously his expression makes it not so sorry. But as you can tell, it's about the center, not exactly because of his expression. Also, the beginning of the eyes are right in line with the edges of the nose. So basically wherever the nose is, that's where the eyes are as well. And that's how I do anatomy. Thank you guys all so much for watching. I hope to see you in my next video. And if you have any more ideas for what I should do in the future, definitely comment down below. Anyways, bye!